This is Romans 11:7. It says, "What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachachodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace, love, and salutations to those that do this work in truth and sincerity. And this video right here is a response to the officer Shamak in the GMS Camp Atlanta Church. And this is the Washington camp. This is Elder Monaghan right here, the DC camp head, and you got these Israelite reprobates, right? That are pretty much just going out there to bother them, because they want to argue. They want to argue the point, But this truth right here that we have, only the elect can get it. All right, and I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play the first part of the video, and let the brother cook for a minute because the brother was going in. But as you can see, as you're gonna hear, right? They're still on that Gentiles can be saved. That John 3:16. This is the same old shit that we've already been over. That we've already went over. And they're just trying to hit the same point over and over and over again. And this shit ain't working, man. And as the elder said in the video, that they just doing this. They just doing this for views, man. Getting people to look at their page and starting controversy. That vocab Haman Malone spirit. Same shit. All right. But the scriptures clearly say that the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. All right. Now let's before we play that, let's look at that in another version. Okay. So let's just change it to the New Living Translation. See what that says. It says, so this is the situation. Most of the people of Israel have not found the favor of Yahweh. They are looking for so earnestly. A few have, the ones Yahweh has chosen, but the hearts of the rest were hardened. Okay? So you can't communicate to these knuckleheads about this truth. Okay? You can't try to convince them, and it's not about convincing. All right? Now, as the brother is going to say in the video, so we're going to play it and let y'all hear it.
First 115? Please, let's do it. Please, let's go to Colossians 115. And record the whole block. This whole block got refuted today. The whole block, come with me. This whole block got refuted by the glory of God, man. And that's what happens when you preach in falsehood.
Stop it, man.
Oh, wait, we ain't talking Jesus Yahweh? Hold on.
Because ultimately, you're not going to believe what we believe. And we're not going to believe what you believe.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
Well, you never know, though. If you convince me, I'll be a Hebrew Israelite.
We've been out here for years and years and years.
Oh, because I'm recording, that means I'm closed-minded?
We're not going to edify nobody.
Edify my audience and your audience.
Right. So you hear, he even said it. He said, you're not going to believe what we believe. For the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. You're not going to get it. There's literally an angel stopping you from being able to understand what we're saying. We understand what you're saying. Okay, we get what you're saying. We get that Christianism bullshit. A lot of us were a part of that. We knew about the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We knew about that shit. And even back then, it didn't sound good. It didn't sound right to me. How could they all be one? Okay? How could the Father be and why is the Heavenly Father, the one that created everything, going to take himself off the throne and put himself in a fleshful body when he's God? He can do anything he want to do. Why would he do that? Okay? He appointed Yahweh Shai to do that. All right? So it didn't sound good back then. It didn't sound good when I was I was going to a Catholic church. I went from the Christian church to the Catholic church, and then I started doing research on Catholicism and realized that Catholicism meant universal. I already knew that the truth was not for everybody. That the Bible was not for everybody. It wasn't meant for everybody. And this was back then. Okay? So you got these guys coming up, and the only thing they're trying to do is stir up strife. Okay? They're trying to stir up strife. All right? But you goddamn Christians, you nigga Christians, y'all was nigga Christians back when y'all was in slavery. You know, praising back there in slavery, praising the master's God. Back in Jim Crow, praising white Jeebus. Okay, 60s, 70s, and 80s during segregation and redlining and gentrification, still praising to white Jeebus. But none of these prophecies is happening right now with the mark of the beast, right? And this is something that they won't go into. They always want to come and try to prove, oh, the Gentiles can be saved, but you're not going into any of the prophecies, okay? This is the same rhetoric over and over and over again. You're not talking about how the world is earthquakes in diverse places right now, okay? You're not talking about 2nd Ezra 9, you know, when the Lord began to visit the world that he made. You're not being occupied in prophecies and seeking the ways of the ancients, okay? You see, when we go into these studies, we do more than just read on the surface level. We go into secular history. We look into who Antiochus Epiphanes was. We look into the Etruscans and the patricians. We look into those to see the references between what was happening then and happening now. We look into, you know, the Roman Empire versus the American Empire to see where we are. Okay? We look into history, right? To see who the leopard was. You know, Alexander the Great and his 4 generals. You know, Lysimachus, Cassandra, Ptolemy, and Lysimachus, Cassandra, and Seleucus. Right? We go into this stuff. Okay? So when we go out there and we preach, we line up the Bible with secular history to show you. We go into the meaning of the words from the original translation because the words translated into another language don't have the same force, power, or meaning. So you have to go into the original translation to understand what they mean. Okay? Names. We know that names can't be transliterated. They have to be spoken in its original tongue. Okay? So we go into these things. So then when you see a Christian comes up, you know, and they start talking, why are you even talking to us, bro? Why are you even talking to us? Okay? You haven't done the work that we do. Now this elder right here, Elder Madagan, man, this dude is fluent in the Hebrew just about. You know, he knows the history, you know. And I done met this elder a couple times. All right? And you got these knuckleheads coming up here to this camp where all of these learned men, they're trying to, and then talking about something. This is what happens when you preach to, man, you ain't prove shit. Look at your hair. Okay? Talking about some, you talking about some, you follow the gospel. Okay? I want to get this real quick. We're gonna go back and play it, you know. You know, these people they just come on board, come on. They want to try to try to discredit what we got going on, but you guys ain't even following what the scriptures say. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 14, and it says, it is obvious that it is disgraceful for a man to have long hair. And isn't long hair a woman's pride and joy? For it has been given to her as a covering. Okay? So look at this man's hair. You sitting up there, and this is in the New Testament, so you sitting here talking about how we got it wrong, but look at your hair, man. Your hair going down your back. You know? And you want to sit there and criticize these men that are doing that are literally doing the work. Okay? So let's go back and let it play. And I'm gonna be quiet for a second. Let the brother cook.
First 115. Please let's do it. Please let's go to Colossians 115. And record the whole block. This whole block got refuted today. The whole block. Come with me. This whole block got refuted by the glory of God, man. And that's what happens when you preach in falsehood.
Stop it.
Oh, wait, we ain't talking Jesus Yahweh? Hold on.
Because ultimately, you're not gonna believe what we believe, and we're not gonna believe what you believe.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
Well, you never know though. If you convince me, I'll be a Hebrew Israelite.
We've been out here for years and years
That's
and
why.
years,
That's
so we're
why.
not gonna-
Oh, because I'm recording, that means I'm closed-minded?
We're not gonna edify nobody.
Edify my audience and your audience. Because if you refute
Your
me,
intent is to come up here and in your mind not lose.
no, it's not about winning and losing. It's not about winning and losing. It's not. Because I'm coming here to show you. No, I'm here to have discussion.
We don't need.
Paul did the same thing when he was talking with the Jews.
See, you guys are going on TikTok and Instagram. You're used to this new world where you just kind of.
We in real life with it.
Listen.
We in real life with
You're
it.
used
Well, don't
to
tell me
this
listen
new
and
world.
lie about
You're
me.
used to this
We in
new
real life with
world
it.
Where you coming up and you think I'm gonna talk to these Israelites and get a name for myself.
I don't need y'all for a name, with all due respect. Yeah, I don't need y'all for a name.
Whether-
Yeah,
whether the
I have like 3
scriptures
videos
say-
against
the
y'all. I don't need
scriptures
y'all
say
at all.
Whether you hear, whether you
Hold on,
forbear.
hold on.
I deal with Muslims.
Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shamak out of the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rachak Wadash, Yahweh being Heavenly Father's true name and His only begotten Son's true name being Yahweh Shai, both in the Hebrew language of whom the world incorrectly and ignorantly called God and Jesus Christ. Also, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well and who are the true leaders of the Hebrew Israelites within these last days. And also want to give a shalom to the hopeful elect believers and teachers that's pushing this truth all over the world. Shalom, all right? And as you seen from the short snippet that I showed, or the short clip that I took from this video here from the page Soldier for Christ, and the title Christian Confronts Black Hebrew Israelites, okay, part 2, all right? Basically of this Vocab Malone's follower, understudy, disciple, okay, basically coming in that same rhetoric, the same teaching, of Christianity, that is, all right, and the same basic idea and stance or the same movement as Vocab, approaching Hebrew Israelite camps, these other, false, practices and religions out there, but the focus is on the Israelites. And we understand, all right? We understand only the elect are to be convinced, okay? Only the elect are to be convinced. That's what the world doesn't understand, okay? That's what and then this person, this guy here, Lou, who page this is or whatever the case may be, he doesn't understand that he's amongst the men of the Lord. He doesn't because it takes faith to see that. It takes belief to see that. He doesn't know to keep his mouth when he comes to the house of the Lord. And they brought that scripture out. All right. And then in this part 2, the main topic of discussion was the Trinity. Like it's just the same. It's just the same rhetoric. All right. But this is Matthew. Let me grab Matthew chapter 24, verse 24, concerning the elect. All right. And it reads, "For there shall arise false Christ," all right, false anointed, false Hamashiach. It says, "and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." It says, if it were possible, which means it is not possible to deceive the elect of the nation of Israel, the elect of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans who are scattered all around the world. And your bloodline, your lineage, and your spirit goes back to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of the 12 tribes of Israel. If you are of the elect, who are the elect? Those are the ordained, predestined believers, all right, that are going to be.
Right. So the elect are the ordained, predestined believers. Okay? Hey, that's why I brought out that Romans 11:7. Okay? Because the elect have obtained it and the rest were blinded. You're not hey, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, why do y'all keep coming up to us, man? Well, y'all see these scriptures, right? Let me get this Romans 8 real quick. Okay? Because Romans 8. All right, this is Romans 8:16. It says, "For the Spirit joins with our spirit to affirm that we are Yahweh's children." All right, and that's in the NIV. I'm gonna go to the KJV and read it. All right, And it says, and the spirit beareth witness, the spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are children of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So when we go out and we believe that we are children of Yahweh by Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, not no Jesus Yahweh. You ain't talking about Jesus Yahweh? No they not. They wasn't talking about no Jesus Yahweh. They don't even that name. What the hell are you talking about? We don't even like saying that name. It's like putting pork in your mouth, man. Okay? It's the same exact rhetoric over and over and over and over again. Okay? And you got these niggas out here who don't want to get it, and that's why the scriptures talk about how you're gonna be low in the kingdom. Okay, you're gonna be forever shamed because when the men of the Lord were out there in the highways and the byways, I mean, why y'all not attacking all these other groups? Huh? Seriously. Why you not going after like Elder said, these Christians with all of the evil shit that they doing? Why you not calling that out? Why you just keep going to Jake on the highways and the byways? Okay? Because it's the same rhetoric over and over again. You want to speak, you want smooth things being spoke to you. Okay? I'm gonna get that real quick, and I'm about to get ready to close out. Ain't gonna be a long lesson. Um, all right. So this is Isaiah. Go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, because y'all want that smooth message, and it's this is a hard saying. Okay. This is Isaiah 39. It says, "This is a rebellious people, rebellious. Our people are rebellious. These niggas, they don't wanna. They can. It's not even that they don't want to. They can't. They cannot see it from our perspective because they were blinded. Okay, they have to be because you have to have an elect, and then you have to have a 2/3 because that's what the scriptures say. Okay, so you have to have some that were going to be blinded. They cannot see it no matter how much you try to show them. They won't be able to see it. Okay? It says, this is a rebellious people, lying children. You're lying. He's going out lying about what his motives are and his motivation. Yes, he's going to get views and he's trying to tarnish the image of the men that are out there on the highways and the byways preaching this word. Okay? Talking about some, I got all these followers. Look, the whole block. We just reviewed. Get the whole block. What are you doing? Only thing you're doing is marking. You're just marking yourself. Because the scriptures say, "Mark those that cause division." It says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. The scriptures is clear. The Lord said, "I have not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Okay. We know about the history of John Hyrcanus and the forced conversion of the JOOs. We know about the Bible Destruction Act, the Bible Destruction group. We know about the Apocrypha being taken out of the Bible. We know this, okay? So we know more than just, we're not just reading the Bible. We're going and figuring out, okay, when did this happen? Rightly dividing the word of truth, okay? So that we can have an understanding of what this is actually saying. What does it mean? Rightfully dividing it. Okay? You just going with that same Christian doctrine and coming through these cemetery schools trying to disprove. We didn't learn through the precepts of men. We learned through the divine inspiration of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, who inspired men to teach us the correct way. Slack, excuse me. Slack it. All right. So you've inherited lies, and now that this shit that has not worked for thousands of years, right, has not worked for us in any capacity. That's why I said earlier, right? Through Jim Crow, through gentrification, redlining, none of this Jeebus shit worked. But now that the men of the Lord are out on the highways and the byways pushing this thing, prophecy is coming to pass. Nobody's talking about that. Only thing you care about is Gentiles can be saved. Fuck out of here, man. Okay? Scriptures say, don't worry about how the wicked is going to be punished, but inquire how the elect is going to be saved. See, y'all are just so far from from the real meaning of what the scriptures, from what it means, which shows that you're blinded. Okay? It says, verse 30 says, "Will say to the seers, see not." You don't want to hear this message that this thing is only for the Israelites and only the chosen, the elect of Israel. You don't want to hear that. You're telling, nah, everybody can be saved. What is the point? If everybody can be fucking saved, man, we might as well keep the horrible world we have now. I mean, this is the reasoning behind this shit, man. If everybody can be saved, then we might as well keep the world we have now. Why you gonna bring every single bad and wicked soul to the world, to the pure world to come? That doesn't make any reasonable sense. You might as well keep the wicked world we have now. If everybody can make it, that doesn't make any sense. It says, "Say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things." You don't want to hear the real truth that the heathen is going to captivity. Okay, you don't want to hear that. Look, it says it right here. Let me go to pull up the blue letter here. Let's go to Revelation 13 and 10. Okay, because never mind what the scriptures say. Never mind that. All right, somebody got to fill this role. Okay, somebody has to fill this role right here. This is Revelation 13 and 10. I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, "If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." Who's going to fulfill this role? Somebody has to fulfill this role. But there was only one group of people that enslaved a people for a long period of time and still refused to let them go to this day. That kills with the sword all across the world. Okay? But the scriptures say those people are going to go into slavery. Those people are going to be killed with the sword. So you're going to argue with what the scriptures are saying, but you claim to believe in the scriptures. Just like your hair being long, you claim to believe in the scriptures, and yet you're not going to cut your hair like the scriptures say you need to. You see? You're just a goddamn hypocrite, man. That's all that shit is. You are a damn hypocrite. That's it. Okay? And you don't really believe in the scriptures, and as the elder said, yo, you're just doing this for views. You're just trying to get a following. Okay? You're using the Hebrew Israelites as a means to try to big yourself up. All right? It says, which say to the seers, verse 10 again, it says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit. Okay? Give us that Christian shit. Give us that Christian vomit, that Christian garbage. Okay? We don't want to hear the real deal. We want to hear the fake stuff. Okay? The soft, smooth. Okay? We don't want to see, we don't want to read that the Bible is filled with dark sayings, lamentations, and woe. We don't want to hear that. All right, we want to hear that everybody can be saved and everybody's going to the kingdom, and it's going to be wings and rainbows and harps, and people going to be floating in the sky with pale skin and blue eyes and blonde hair, and just everything is going to no. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, verse 11 it says, "Get ye out the way, turn aside out the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us." Okay? Verse 12, "Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon." Because the Christian breakdown of the scriptures is perverse. Okay? What did that pastor say not too long ago? This was never a Christian nation. You want to claim to represent the Bible, but then do all these atrocities in the name of the Bible. When the Bible clearly tells you not to do that, but this is what you do. So you got white pastors now saying that America was never a Christian nation, and yet you niggas out here are sitting here walking around talking about some Christ Yahweh. Everybody can be saved. That same vocab Malone rhetoric. You know, verse 13. Therefore, this iniquity shall be unto you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out of a high wall whose breaketh coming suddenly. When this Christian nation, you know, falls, y'all gonna fall with it. When this war happens, they're not gonna care about your Jeebus. They're gonna take your ass and throw your ass. They're gonna draft you. And they're gonna put your ass in that chair and cut off that goddamn long hair and put your ass in the front lines into the meat grinder. Okay? And then we're gonna see if Jeebus gonna save you then. Alright? This is why we don't like dealing with y'all, man. Just going up the street. Why are you trying? We're not, this is not for you. We're not trying to convince you. We out for here for the elect and the elect only. That's it. Okay, that's why I brought out that Romans 8, because the Spirit beareth witness with our spirit. So if you walk past and you hear it, you're not gonna need. I didn't need no convincing when I heard this. I didn't need them to break it down and try to convince me. I heard it and I said, "Whoa, what is that? Hold up, hold up, hold up. This is tingling in my spirit." That's what happened to me. It wasn't. Oh, let me hear a little bit more. Oh wow, that sounds like it makes sense, huh? Let me go home and research this for a little while just to see. No, I heard it, I believed it, and I was stuck, and I'm still here. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai 10 years later, okay? And it's the same with all these other brothers. We didn't need to be convinced, like he said in this video where he says, you know, hey, you can convince me. No, we're not trying to convince you, bro. What did he say? I'm gonna rewind it back. What did he say?
Ultimately, you're not gonna believe what we believe, and we're not gonna believe what you believe.
Okay, that's fair.
All right?
Well, you never know though. If you convince
Now
me,
you
I'll
see
be a
this.
Hebrew Israelite.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm gonna play that back again. But you see what he put up here, running from the topic? No, nobody's running from nothing. Okay? He just said, we're not gonna believe what you believe. You're not gonna believe what I believe. You're trying to set a narrative to make the men of the Lord look bad. And I pray that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai destroy your ass, man. Saying, you're not gonna believe what we believe, and we're not gonna believe what you believe. How is that running from the topic? He's pretty much saying this is a lost cause. There's no point of us even having this discussion. You're not going to believe us. We're not going to believe you. We're not going to convince each other. So if you go to somebody and they say, hey, you're not going to convince me. I'm not going to convince you. So let's just part ways. And you stay. Why are you staying? Why are you staying there? You are staying there because you are trying to get views and you're trying to get a level of notoriety off the backs of these men that are out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. That's what you're trying to do. Okay? There's no convincing. I just read it. If your spirit, if it's not bearing witness with your spirit, then you're not gonna get it.
If he refute
Your
me,
intent is to come up here and in your mind not
Yeah.
lose.
no, it's not about winning and losing. It's not about winning and losing. It's not. You never know though. If you convince me, I'll be a Hebrew Israelite.
We've been out here for years and
Because
years
that's
and
why
years,
that's
so we're
why
not
You heard him. He said, "If you convince me, I'll be a Hebrew Israelite." No, we're not trying to convince nobody. Okay. The scriptures say that the Spirit beareth witness with our spirit. Ain't no convincing. It says the elect have obtained it and the rest were blinded. That means that the elect already got it. Let me see if I can get this real quick and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's it right there. So we're going to go to the book of Romans. We're going to close out on this because you're not going to get it. You were the elect was predestined. for salvation, you were predestined for destruction. So we're going to go back to Romans 8. And we're going to start at verse. Okay, this is verse 29. It says, "From whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn of among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, he also glorified. What shall we say? What shall we then say to these things? If Yahweh be for us, who can be against us?" You see that? So the Lord let's see what that word predestinate means. Okay? For you stupid ass knuckleheaded Christians who don't understand, what words mean, and that the scriptures are already set on who will be saved and who wouldn't be. Okay? See what this word predestinate. Predestinate. Orzo.
Strong's G 4309. Praorizo. Praorizo.
And it says to determine, decide for beforehand. In the NLT in the New Translation of God, decreeing from eternity, to fore or ordain, appoint beforehand. So the Lord preordestinated the elect beforehand. Okay, this wasn't something that, we just got on the scene and we. This is why when the elect hear it, they lock in. You don't have to convince them because it was already in them to begin with, and when they heard it, it brought it out of them. Okay, it was already in the elect, and when they heard it, they walked past or they saw a video and they heard it, and it was like, hold up, what is this? There's a tingling in my ears. Okay, so hey man, y'all Christians just need to hang it up, man, and just leave us alone. But real soon, you're going to anyway. Real soon, you're going to be looking for us. Real soon, you're going to be looking for the men of the Lord. Real soon. Okay? Like we was wrong, but that's going to be that shame. All right? So, with that, I pray it's an edifying lesson. I'm going to go ahead and end it off, giving all praises going on to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakar Kadash. And to the next time, I say Shalom.